Education is a right. Education is a right. Education is a right. Education is a right.
Thank you everybody for coming out. Thank you very much to the walkers who just walked 90 miles. 94 miles. 94.2 where every step counts. So we're gonna have some speakers.
Hi everyone! Hey! How you doing in Kingston, New York? Well, let me tell you, you're not doing so great. A city of 24,000 people, and knowing that the state of New York, under the Foundation Aid formula, cheats you out of $8 million a year. Is that right? Is that right? If you don't think that's right, raise your hand and decide. And tell them it's not right. Is that right? Well, let me say this to you. There's a group called AQE, Alliance for Quality Education. And they have put together a walk starting in New York City at the Board of Education at Tweed Courthouse. People are riding with their bikes from Buffalo to Rochester. Wow. People are walking from Rochester to Albany. People are walking from Long Island to New York and walking to Albany. And you're here, people in Yonkers and Arsenal and Peekskill and Newburgh and Beacon and now Kingston, New York. Give yourself another hand. So you have walkers that truly believe that our children are worth every step they take. They have swollen feet, blisters, swollen knees, left their children at home, making an example for their children to follow, to be advocates and fighting for their rights, like Separate Teach Out is fighting. And I say to all of you, never give up when it comes to those little children that you hold in your arms right there.
Right.
Because those children are our future. And it doesn't matter if you're black, if you're white, if you're Latino or Asian, if you're rich or you're poor. Education is a human right that they're entitled to. Do you agree? Yeah! Well, let me tell you the story. There are 150 members of the State Assembly. And you have one body, who's the State Assembly member running?
Right over there, Kevin Cahill.
Where?
Assemblyman Kevin Cahill, next to him. With the white hair.
No, Assembly member. Come on over here. Go on, Kevin Cahill. Give him a hand. Okay, now do you know the State Assembly, as far as the campaign for fiscal equity and AQE's fight to get $3.9 billion over a 2-year phase-in period, the Assembly voted for 100%, so give them a hand. And the Senate did not. The Senate did not. They felt that 20% of the money was enough. Is that enough? That's not enough. The governor said, okay, we're going to give you a little more. What about 6%? Is that enough? No! Well, I tell you, it is not enough, and our children deserve more. But I say to you, as somebody that walked 150 miles in 2003, and now walking with AQE, with Billy Easton, and all the other walkers from the Bronx, of Long Island, the only teacher that's walked in the entire district. Parent leaders, other people that are involved in education, people that believe that our children deserve every right to a minimally a sound basic education. But we don't want just a sound basic education for our kids. We want an excellent education. Is that right? Well, here's what you can do. Make sure that you register everybody you know. It was not too late to vote in November.
Not too late.
Some people said, reporters talk to us, why are you walking? So we tell them we're walking because our children deserve the money to get a good education. Why now, they ask? Well, this is October. The general election is November 8th, and 150 members of the Assembly and 63 members of the Senate are up for election or re-election. And so this is the time we have to hold them all accountable to let them know if they don't do the right thing for our children, we won't do the right thing for them. Is that true? That's true! So I thank you for coming out. I'm going to stop right here. I say to you that the fight and struggle continues every single day. We thank you for coming out. But let me ask you, have you taken a pledge? Yes. Let me raise your hand and pledge. I pledge that I will fight for our children. Black, white, yellow, or green. Rich or poor. To get an excellent education. To be the future of our great country. And the city of Kingston, New York. And I swear to you. Or I affirm. That I will do everything I can. To elect our public officials. That will do the right thing. For the children of New York State. Give yourself a hand.
Public schools are on the rise. You got to educate, agitate, organize.
Public schools are on the rise. Gotta educate, agitate, organize. Public schools are on the rise. Educate, agitate, organize.
Public schools
Are on the rise. Gotta educate, agitate, and organize.
awesome. Thank you.
James Elementary. My favorite things about school are the music and also I like the sports, and I know the kids in some schools don't have those things. And if they get tired outside, they're probably bored. They can't afford balls. Okay, got it. Some schools have things like one pencil per person or a jammed up classroom. Which is all because they can't get enough money to get supplies to do the arts and music. To do the arts and music, you need to have stuff. I want them to be able to do those things. Fund our school.
$5 million investment in modern education taking place across the street because you are in a community that believes in education, that believes in the future and in our children. Let's have a round of applause for the Kingston School Board, one of whose members is standing right with you right now. Two of the members are here. This cause is one that we've waited too long to resolve. Going back to the Spitzer administration, a promise was made that we would reform the way we fund education, that we would put the concept of shares in the trash can and put foundation aid at the forefront of education funding in this state. We would create a circumstance where it didn't matter where you lived as a child in this state that determined what kind of education you were going to get. That was the promise that was made. Bravo. We started on the way, and then we faltered. When the economy faltered, we faltered. And we didn't catch up fast enough. Robert, I wish you were right that we only owed the Kingston schools and the old schools in my district $8 million. The truth is, we owe you $11 million in the foundation aid formula. 11 million. It was 12 and a half last year. We made some progress this year, but as was stated, not nearly enough, not nearly fast enough. We have to do more. We have to make sure that you not only have an assembly that's 100% in support of finally keeping the promise, keeping the commitment, keeping the court mandate that we finance our schools in an appropriate way, but we also need a state senate that does so, and then we need a governor ready to sign the bottom line and ready to hold the rest of the budget accounting for what has to happen with education aid to make it fair. We can only do that if we change the balance in the state Senate. You have it in the state assembly, you have a progressive assembly. We have been supporting this cause from long before even Governor Spitzer was in office. But we cannot do it alone. We need partners. I can't tell you enough about how much the Alliance for Quality Education has done to keep this issue alive in Albany. I can't tell you enough how Citizen Action has kept this issue alive in our community. And I can't tell you enough how important it is that we once and for all make the same investment statewide, make the same investment in staffing and in the professionals that educate, that the people of this school district have decided to invest in that campus across the street. That's real. Let's make it real across the state. Thank you, everybody.
The value of this, but we can change the mind of those that are in the Senate that refuse to understand the importance of education. Education is really the bootstraps that can lift us up out of poverty to a life that is economically great.
That's right.
Only through education can that happen. And we need to do everything we can to educate all of our children. I know that I was raised in poverty, first one in my family to graduate from high school, first one in my family to be able to go to college, and I know what is different than made in our family for that happening. And I know that every child that's given an opportunity to get the best education that they can will be able to change their whole life direction. And so we applaud you for walking that distance. I'm too old to do that, but appreciate all those that have done it, but most important, everyone working in whatever way they can help to make this happen. And so we thank you, and certainly we're looking forward to what will occur.
And supporting some of the first public schools in the country. This is because that we have always believed that human beings were capable of developing, of becoming wiser, more compassionate, and more engaged. We have always believed that education was one of the primary ways to help people become their best selves. Good education opens us up to the experiences of others, to an understanding of the world, and to ways to contribute and make a difference. As our 19th century forebears taught us, the opportunities for all that education offers should not be limited to those who can pay. And so public education is a vital part of a vibrant society. As Unitarian Universalists today say, we affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person. So every child and youth deserves a chance at a quality education, not restricted by location or family resources. But this is not just a conviction of our religious community. As a community of diverse religious and secular voices, we know that a quality education is also a civic good, the foundation of a functioning democratic community. Our children and youth deserve access to education that respects their minds and bodies and selfhood. They deserve the chance for the excitement of learning, as well as the opportunities for meaningful and financially sustainable work that education provides. All of these things are undermined when public education is inadequately funded. And they are also undermined by a system of discipline in public schools that focuses on punishment and involves the criminal justice system in unnecessary and inappropriate ways. This is why it's so exciting that the Kingston School District is in the process of moving toward a restorative justice model for school discipline. Restorative justice helps everyone in situations where a breach has occurred, and in a school environment maintains access to the learning to the greatest extent possible. I commend the leadership of the Kingston School District for heading in this direction. Like all changes in the structure of a system, this one will require resources in the form of time and training and additional staff who are experts in this model. And this is one reason why it is important that New York State support the Kingston School District at the fairest level possible. Every high-need school district has its own particular needs, and for all of them and all the children and youth they represent, we ask the state of New York to live up to its obligations to fully fund our neediest school districts. To those walking for this important cause, thank you for your dedication to our communities and to our children. As the mom of this little one, who will eventually be in the Kingston schools, I so appreciate your commitment to my child and to all the children and youth of New York State. Thank you.
I see Robin Jacobowitz from the school board as well as Reverend Childs. I don't know if we have other school board members as well, but Robin, a hand. Reverend Childs and I go back about 30 years. We organized with the Rainbow Coalition here, as well as my friends Janice and Albert Williams-Myers, who've been at the struggle for a long time. My shirt here says protect kids, not millionaires. So that's what we need to do in Albany. They've taken care of the billionaires. They've taken care of the millionaires. They've taken care of the bankers. I figure our kids must be the next ones on the list. I'm going to just want to make sure to make one announcement, which is when we leave here tomorrow, this is our end of our day today, it's here. When we leave here tomorrow, we'll be walking Saugerties. We have a little rally there at 3 o'clock. It'd be great if people would join us there if you can. Give a hand, please, to the walkers there. You can see they're kind of tired out. But, 115-year-old student there in the seer, right there. Come on, this seer. Give it up. Walking better than the rest of us. And I want to ask my good friend Robert Jackson to come back up one more time. Where you at, RJ? Right in front of me.
Hi everyone, so let me thank you all for coming out. And this was the theme 13 years ago, Walk a Mile for a Child. But now we're walking not only for our children, but we walk for $3.9 billion. Because that's what the state legislature and the governor owes all of the children in New York City. And the bottom line is this, we deserve it, our children deserve it, and it's up to all of us to make sure that that happens. Also, we have a hashtag EdWalk. So you can follow us on Twitter or Facebook, hashtag EdWalk. But you know, it's costing a lot of money to put this together. So I'm making a pitch for you right now. You have $1, $5, $10, $20. You can always go online to HUE to make a contribution. But if you have any cash right now to put in this bucket to help us pay for the hotel, the meal, that will help a whole lot. Whatever you can. And if you can't, just walk with us. Come to Saugerties tomorrow. Bottom line is that you care. That's why you're here. So that's my pitch. I'll leave the bucket right here.
All right.